We have this working. Yay.
Literally, I used to jump off the swing. I used to sit oh no, I didn't do it. We were on a swing pad on our pocket for like whatever something. I mean, it could be swinging out, but I will stay on the swing.
What am I doing?
It's very common swing, I guess. I only need my life. I keep the best in it when I'm walking. I mean, sometimes I think it wasn't high enough. I did, but I honestly don't have to.
Trying to manipulate this thing in position is much harder than I thought it was going to be. Surprise, surprise. Is there any way for this thing to work for this stupid phone thing? Is there a way to snap this on here?
Because once I unscrew the top thing off the top there, it's surrounded by a swivel. Oh hey, I've got
Well, I don't know. I don't know how to get it to work, so I just don't understand why technology is being
Do you guys have any?
so terrible.
We do, but that's not our camera. We can't put any.
It's on my phone. I mean, the
no,
camera.
she was asking about the camera.
You can take the camera off. You supposedly can mount things to it, but I don't know how, and I have to know everything because no one else does. So.
Oh, you. I don't know how it works. I said that. Wait, I was gonna say that, guys.
Where's my rubber band bracelet?
Can you do anything with that?
Give me one sec, please. Seriously.
That looks good. Maybe you can still put it to the
No, it's fine.
from your side. Yeah, I'm just talking about for a line. It's good though.
It doesn't matter for the one.
I mean, I think it's going to be the best we're going to do, frankly. So let's roll with it. There should be video up, Cameron. Now that we got it on my phone, however long it's going to last, charge, probably not long. There's the plug.
Some days are much better than others. Cameron, do you see the feed? Cameron.
Cameron.
Are you there?
Is it running like a truck?
It's not supposed to, but it does sometimes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
guess I got kicked out.
It's all good, man.
Okay, can you see the feed?
Yes.
Okay, because we got it hooked up to our phone, so.
Is it somewhat tolerable?
Does it look good?
Yep.
Okay.
It's like moving slowly. Oh my god, this is just technology, man. What the fuck? It works great until it doesn't.
It's plotting our inevitable downfall, man.
Something like that, but it's kind of crazy when my phone works more reliably than a. God damn it. Caught my bracelet. Okay. Good fucking enough. Where the fuck were we?
Okay, so you was
I've
turn.
not had enough beer.
You-
Oh yeah, so they were like swinging at you because you ran away from them. So 4 is going to miss. 20 versus AC. Prepare for pain. 1 point of damage, motherfucker. You're weakly slapped on the back, but it's like one of those slaps that kind of hurt, like as you just hit the right
Just
way.
light sting after.
It's like ah.
It's like pledging of fraternity. It's like
Why do you have
Some slight haze.
some slight hazing with some wet towels.
21 versus armor class.
It's
Alright, so this one actually might hurt. Maybe, possibly, perhaps. Wow, I rolled another fucking 1 from my damage roll. Oh, hold up. It's not just 1 though. So make a DC, or make a Constitution saving throw for me, please. And you're going to take 4 points of slashing damage as something grazes across your back.
I rolled an 8 or 2.
Alright, so
Oh wait, plus 3, it's
11.
Yeah.
That is not enough, so you're going to start losing 5 hit points at the start of each of your turns due to an infected wound. So you can the wounded target. Oh, so if it keeps hitting you, the wound keeps getting worse. You can take an action to staunch the wound with a medicine check, but until you get that or magical healing, your back is gnarly. So basically, you get tetanus as something slashes you in the back.
Okay, so that was minus what, 4?
Yeah, 4 slashing damage, and then the 1 pat on the back damage.
So
One damage to your self-esteem. All right, and then you, I'm guessing, move up to the swarm.
Yeah, some attack.
Okay.
And I rolled 13.
13 hits.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and attack with Divine Smite and use it on my slots. What?
That's her way of telling you what you've done to him. You'll probably kill him. In the state you want easy and stuff.
I mean, it might sort of possibly have like 2 hit points left. Maybe.
Okay, so I'll just do it.
So you just need to sneeze on
The,
him.
the swarm is mostly dissipated. We'll go with that.
Okay.
And the cat is my.
Range? Oh. You can kill the cat if you want to. No. Divine smite on Jade.
Divine smite on its brother.
No. I can't see through the beard.
Yeah, that's
But yes.
D10.
I don't have beard goggles. It's not letting me see your beard.
Okay, so I hit for 8. Wait.
8 plus. You
5
should have.
5 plus 5.
Okay. So you walk up and with the flat of your hammer, it's a hammer, right? No. You take your shield and just go squish.
Squeeze.
And you lift it up and you got bug guts
Alright.
all over your shield. Alright.
So rip 1.
Yep, that's gone. Who's that?
Ravis, followed by Callie.
The longest turn ever because of stupid fucking YouTube bullshit.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I don't mind YouTube bullshit. I just wish it would fucking work.
I know, right?
Mm.
Well, I'm gonna try the same move I did last time, and I am going to recklessly attack my opponent. Oh, I like those numbers. Oh, I like those numbers.
Oh, baby. Tell it to me.
What do
You need a moment alone.
Oh,
That's
baby.
a 20.
Don't keep me
Does a
waiting.
20 hit the bone key?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Oh, God, yes. Sorry. The piece is really good.
He is gonna take.
It all.
My God, if I can do math, I'd be dangerous. He's gonna take 16 from that attack,
16.
and then with my reckless attack, I don't suppose a 10 hits him, does it?
It does not.
All right. In that case, just the 16 points damage for my first attack.
All right. So I keep forgetting you're an axe user, right? You pretty much saw half of its body off, and it sounds like a xylophone as your axe goes down, and the creature somehow still stands, if only barely.
Fuck you! I'm 99% sure that is all of my remaining ability. Almost only counts with horseshoes and hand grenades.
Sure. All right. Who's up?
Next is Callie, followed by me.
Alright, I'm going to peek around the corner and shoot somebody. Who would I have line of sight with? The middle guy?
You've moved here.
Do sneak attack.
Okay.
Watch your dice tray on this bicycle. Thanks.
22 versus AC.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
This is gonna hurt.
16 points of damage.
So the creature swaying from the previous attack. Callie pops down the corner, a little crossbow bolt hits it in the skull, goes blink, and the head just rolls off
And then I'm going to go back around the corner and hide.
like a bitch.
Hey, it works. Shit.
Hey, yeah. Rogues do it from behind. Next.
Oh god, I hated it.
Next is me,
I was like, what?
and I'm going to. No, I'm going to move to a more advantageous position to where I can swing on the one in front of me.
I think where you are is the best.
No, he has a neck forward to try and hit this guy because there's a door in the way.
I got you.
So if you stepped here, you have -2 on each of them. If you moved here, you'd have no penalty, but you would be flanked. What you want?
Actually, I'm going to target the one in front of Ravis with a Sacred Flame.
Okay. All right. So that you should have just a -2 on that one. Shooting through the door. That is
I don't
like,
roll for that attack.
oh, well, aren't you cool?
Wait, why don't you roll?
You actually have to roll Dexterity.
Okay. I rolled very poorly.
What'd you roll?
Bad.
Okay.
Bad enough that I know I failed. these things have like a -3, and I rolled shit. So I mean, like my roll ended up being like a -1, which
12
is
points of radiant damage.
yeah, it gets blown back to the 9 hells. Just whoop, gone. All right, who's next? Next is bad guys. All right, so this dude
No. Why do they
teleports
always
back through
run?
the 9 hells.
Damn you.
All right.
So the famous question. Loot.
When I say what the Lansky velocity of the only didn't swallow, but apparently not.
Nope, that's the second famous question.
Priorities, woman.
Okay. So I'm a pornicle. Oh, if only that was on camera. My unicorn horn got a little limp. It happens to everybody, people. Don't laugh.
At least uses a pretty pink color.
All right. So this thing used to like roll multiple times for a treasure. Now it just seems to roll one time. But let's roll the dice. All right. So you find I'm just going to tell you like the grand total of it all, probably rather than each individual piece, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You find they left gemstones behind, oddly enough, but it said that you need a stone of value to summon them into the material plane. So you find a moonstone, a star rose quartz, a zircon, a bloodstone, 2 citrines, and a jasper for a grand total of this doesn't tell me that total. God damn it. I just sworn it did. Okay. Quick math. So we do 1, 2, 3, 400 gold pieces. So that's split up.
Oh, look at it.
Yeah, we split.
So you're tracking all the gold.
Mhm.
I need to find that other loot in here. I like it better. I don't want to use the infinity column. Roll with the shield.
There's one thing that all of that power.
Okay. I got the joke. Haha, here's the one I want. I think. Maybe not. Oh my god. Sometime today.
Yeah, that's pretty
Well, that's just rude. Okay, cool. So, yeah, you're better with your last one, but okay, this is better. All right. So, excuse me. So the room free of devils. Things go haywire.
Mm-hmm.
You see a summoning circle in the center, a pinnacle, or I guess pentagram, drawn in what you can only guess is human blood, and it is surrounded by candles. At the far end of the kind of cathedral-like area You see a coffin with a closed casket, an altar with 2 lit lanterns on it, and some kind of large demonic-looking statue that has a fire burning at its feet.
I just look at the statue and say, I'm glad that's a statue.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's about 50 feet tall. If it was standing, it'd probably be about 20.
Would I know anything about the pentagram, since it's probably demonic nature? Would I recognize it at all?
You probably can. It just closed. Like it
Smells
smells
like coal.
strongly of brimstone. Which it smells like lava and brimstone, pretty much. Other than that, unless you get like a religion check, probably not.
Alright. I want to try a religion check just to see if anything turns up.
I would like to as well.
Do that.
11.
You want to suck all?
I'm just gonna inhale.
Alright.
24.
Whatever.
You're an asshole.
Seriously.
Okay. So,
Pelor is with me.
24. This dwarf gets down on his knees and like runs his finger through the blood and like tastes it, and he's like,
Ew.
this like was put here about 7 hours ago. It's still pretty fresh. Tasting it, I can see the part of the Gehenna that's on the other side, and well, he's not saying this, he's thinking this. You know that somebody's trying to draw demons through. Clearly.
Well, I
For what
know,
purpose? You don't know.
Okay, so what did you say? That's at the end of the whole room?
There is a coffin, an altar, and a large statue with a fire burning at its feet.
Okay, I'm gonna go investigate the coffin.
There's a lid on it.
Any special marking, stones, hieroglyphics?
No, it's a stone casket, not uncommon for this area because there's not a lot of wood. It is completely unadorned, and it has a heavy granite lid on top.
Okay.
That's weird. What's on the altar?
Okay, so considering
I'm sorry?
considering that what we're looking at is really a room for demonic worshippers, there is a summoning altar in the center, and there's a coffin with what nose in it besides a statue. I vote on destroying the coffin.
I look at you and I shake my head in non-agreement.
I
I'm
don't
talking.
think-
I'm not
I
talking.
don't think that's a guy.
I'm not talking normal destruction. I'm talking holy destruction.
I look.
I mean-
you're the religion expert.
Be sure.
Say that again?
New kids from orbit is the only way to be sure.
Y'all are paranoid.
As the religion expert. What's your good say there?
I say no good can come of this work. It needs to be.
Is there any like
So it's
organs on like the altar? Like is it like human sacrifice or anything like that?
No. The altar is surprisingly tidy, and it only has one object that glints in the candlelight on it.
What is it?
It is a key that has an eye motif.
Hey.
Oh yeah. Alright, grab it.
Okay.
Grab it.
And then I
Controversial.
really fast.
Now, you have a key. And a rat's going crazy for some reason. Somewhere off in the distance.
So where'd you find that key?
I was on the altar.
Okay.
That was funny as shit when you screamed like that. buttons jumped and fell off the plate.
That makes me feel horrible.
Sheep all the lie. You're
Sorry,
right.
buttons.
She's just staring at you, seething with rage. She's like, don't do that.
Okay, so.
Against my party's wishes,
Oh boy.
I'm gonna take my divine smite and smash the coffin.
And I totally
Okay.
am not okay with this.
Well,
while
I
he's
mean,
looking.
it happened. So, give me an athletics check and a. Trying to think. Give me an athletics check and, as a bonus, a religion check on top of that, which is kind of untraditional, but
That's 2d20s, right?
yeah. Roll like 2 separate checks and add them together.
I'm gonna
Okay,
hide.
I'm gonna roll for my athletics first.
And I'm gonna hide. As soon as I see him going for the coffin, I'm
Okay.
hiding.
Okay, I rolled a 15 for athletics,
Okay.
and for religion, I rolled a 16.
Actually,
Holy shit. Okay. So, the Minotaur with a like charging like Goku like starts glowing and then brings his hammer down on the coffin, which shatters into 2 million pieces. If you could hear what happened inside, you would hear a kind of dead wet snap as the body inside got broken into bits, but you didn't hear it because of the smashing stone everywhere. There seems to have only been the body in there, and there is a necklace about the neck.
I go up.
You gonna come jack my loot?
No, it's not what
It was like,
No.
Like, yeah, don't smash the
Viessa goes up to the body and sniffs it since I have keen hearing and smell.
okay.
Just to see like what I can get out of this body. If it.
How bad does it smell?
No, I'm not talking about how bad it smells. I go up to smell it to see if I can find anything significant about the smell.
Okay. So sniffing at the little bits of body left, you recognize the scent of some very expensive herbs and spices. It has a kind of a cinnamon nutmeg smell to it. Whomever was preparing this body cared for it well enough to embalm it pretty well. The person might have had meaning to them, but the actual corpse has been mummified here for quite some time.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and snag the necklace off the corpse.
Okay.
And, what's your name?
Adrik.
I'll let Hedrick analyze it before I even put it on.
Alright, so when you pick up the necklace, you hear from somewhere in the room, although you're not really sure, you just hear something kind of simple. You just hear,
Do we all hear
and then
that?
nothing. Yes. And
Okay.
you see one of the hands that's like been broken, kind of like reach out for it almost before like collapsing back down to the ground.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and just lightly say, perhaps we should just leave it where we found it.
Well, how much is it worth? That's fine.
We're talking gold, silver.
Alright, let me get this straight. You're totally fine. Charging into a fight we don't need to have. But you're willing to risk another one because there's money at stake.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, if it's a good amount of money,
The necklace is made out of electrum, a blue metal that kind of scintillates a bit, and it is inlaid with some circular green emeralds that are like hard like marbles, so they kind of are like smooth bumps that go along the like kind of thick electrum necklace. It's worth about 400 gold pieces.
I'm okay with this.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and touch the necklace and cast my divine sense on it.
The necklace itself has no like real property of like good or evil. You can only imagine that it held a strong sentimental value for its former owner.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it. Y'all can do whatever you want with it.
Oh, I'm taking it. As soon as he puts it down, I'm gonna snatch
So he
it.
throws it down on the ground near the corpse, and then the robe goes
Pretty much.
right in
I'm
her
gonna
purse.
set my axe on top of the necklace.
Oh no.
Miss, perhaps I can make you a more appealing offer.
It's a pretty nice necklace.
Yeah. I think
In return for leaving the trouble behind, I am more than willing to forego whatever share of the treasure we might find here to reimburse you for your financial loss.
okay. Compromise. Let's wait till we're done exploring this place, and then we'll talk about it then. So you're gonna say the necklace until then?
I'm willing to be amenable to your offer. And I'll take my axe off the necklace. Alright? See what else there is to find.
I
The
wanna
necklace
look.
doesn't leave the room.
Huh?
The necklace can't leave the room.
What?
Not right now.
It's gotta stay with the corpse.
Oh no, it's coming with me.
Whatever you say.
Okay, at the sound of that, I walk out of the room.
Okay.
I'm gonna fall after him and quickly say, don't worry. With any luck, she's going to die horribly, and then it'll be a good point.
I will haunt your ass. Just remember that.
I stay next to her just in case.
Oh, I'm not going to be sure you die or anything, things happen.
So on the coffin, it's smashed to bits, so I'm sure if there is any writing. Is there any writing? First of all.
No, the coffin itself was pretty unadorned.
Okay.
It was more function over anything else.
Gotcha.
The treatment of the body, you can tell, was where the investment went here, more so than the coffin, but there isn't exactly wood laying around this place for caskets either, so.
Okay.
Before Adrik leaves the room, he wants to disrupt the pentagram in the center of the room.
So what, like, just pull some salt out from your belt pouch and, like, sprinkle it over or something?
Yep.
Okay. You feel a slight dampening of the kind of sinister energies in the room.
And for good measure, I sprinkle some holy water around.
Okay. Alright, so you know you would need at least one bottle, so just make sure you deduct your 25 gold for that.
Okay.
Well, a vial of holy water takes 25 gold worth of silver.
Yeah.
I'm just so not that it's not surprised. Okay. Okay. Alright. So, what y'all doing?
I guess we're going to go unlock the door.
I
Okay.
behind while she does the
So go ahead and give me a marching order. Put that on the TV somewhere. And
Well, it's probably going to be.
I imagine you're in the back while everybody else fled the room when you got the necklace.
The only people in the room is Viessa.
And Callie. Yeah, so it's
Yeah, I did all that as I was walking out the door.
Ravis, Adrik.
Yeah, I can be in the front since I'm the one who keeps opening doors.
Do you want us to?
If not, I can go.
Okay, so marching order. Ravis. Think that's our marching order?
Well,
I mean, skills can change it now. Like it. All right, so you guys head back out into the hall. Callie taking up the rear, right?
Yep.
You think it slams behind you a little bit. You're not sure, but it seemed like it. So you guys head down through the hall over to where the high keyhole was.
Yes.
Who's at the door front and turning that lock?
I guess
Ravis.
Yeah, Ravis wants to unlock the door.
who wants to open all the doors?
Let's do them all doors.
Right, Ravis?
You still with us, buddy?
I mean, it's not my first choice, but since
What?
I think
Whoa,
we're making
whoa,
the first
sure.
choice.
Hold on.
Breaking the fuck up.
sorry.
I think there's something that can fuck you.
Well, it's not really my first choice, but since I do seem to keep doing it, I might as well accept it as a character trait. So yeah, I do the thing and I'll open the door.
Okay.
Ravis, opener of doors, turns the key in the lock, and you hear a mechanical click, 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 as three hinges kind of like start turning, and you hear metal rods sliding through the door. And after a few seconds, the sound of sliding metal stops, and you hear the last of the noise kind of reverberate down the hall, and then it's silent.
So much for a stealthy entrance. And I'll try opening the door.
Okay. So when you open the door, your first thing you notice is that you are kind of assaulted by the smell of kind of sweet smell of mummified flesh and the tang of rotted food. You find yourself in a great banquet hall that is lit by a few torches, but it's pretty dark in the middle. In all the seats, there is corpses, mostly skeletal, with just their skin kind of stretched over the bones. Most of them are intact, but some of them you see like an odd arm laying on the ground here, or a head that seems to have rolled off the table. One, you note, looks like it went face first into what appears to be a salad bowl. But the room is dark and silent, but it's definitely not been aired out in a long time.
I'm going to close the door, and I'm going to turn to the party and tell them what I found.
They don't know exactly what you found, but they definitely smelled something. It's a pretty unpleasant odor.
It looks as though there was a rather tragic accident during a feast, and quite a few souls met a tragic end. I don't know if there's anything worth searching for in there, or if we should perhaps explore other avenues of interest.
Is there a way to, when you went in there to search around, did you see a way to bar the room shut on the inside and possibly give us a place to rest?
All he did was poke his head in.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. I stuck my neck out only far enough to see what was in the room. Not to investigate, I am afraid, sir. But I would hazard to guess that unless the room was locked from the outside, there's a good chance that we can lock it from within.
I say let's go in and explore it. What was I gonna say?
Dilly.
How about we camp out for a little bit before heading in? Since we have fought 2 battles.
I would concur that it would be better to familiarize ourselves with some less treacherous ground and full of clean, unfettered air. Maybe the first room where the rope is, it was check that there's still a way to extricate ourselves from this tomb.
It's not a bad idea.
So where we came, good entrance. Rest.
Yeah, I think that's
Exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Real quick, just because I'm over the computer, is the voice a little bit much?
No, it's
No,
good.
you're fine.
No. I
Okay,
mean,
I just wanted to make sure I was coming through clear with all the technology in the way. So, okay.
yeah. There was just a moment where it just like kind of rubber banded for a few. It wasn't
Okay,
you.
yeah.
It was just Discord flaked out somewhere.
Yeah, you sounded like a robot.
I've also played a few games with folks where it's like, that accent's great, but it also fucking the language.
Oh yeah, no.
So make sure we're all good.
You're golden.
Perfect.
All right. Fearing, doubting. All right. Okay. So, you guys head back around in the hall and head south into the first room you came into.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody roll me a d6, please.
You better roll. Please tell me a 1 isn't bad. Okay, she rolled a 1.
One's not.
You get my ideas.
So, I mean, actually, it's a really simple system. Usually when you backtrack, there's a chance for random encounters, and if you roll a 6, that is the random encounter. Basically, just some people believe in random encounters and some don't. I do. I think it represents a more realistic environment where things are moving around and stuff. So, without having to keep track of like each individual monster in the dungeon, I think it's just an easier way and it's transparent. So they'll know I'm not pulling any kind of DM bullshit. But you enter into the room that, after having smelled the dining room, this room's smell of vinegary wine smells pretty heavenly, but the room is quiet.
Alright, want to take a short rest then?
Yeah, I'm gonna look for ways to secure the door. Can we put the barrels? Can we move those in front of the doors?
You can. Only one of them seems to have any fluid in it, and the rest are empty. So, plus, you know that at least some of them are filled with poison gas. So, it might not be a good idea to break them. You can try and, as a rogue, you can try and do a let's see, they don't have a disabled device, but they have thievery or sleight of hand.
I think it's sleight of
Sleight of
hand.
hand. So I can make a sleight of hand check for you to try and secure the door via roguish ways.
Yeah, I was thinking I could tie like the skeleton bones. I could tie those like above the door to where somebody walks to hit them. Like make like a bone chime.
A bone chime.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So are you going to do that, or are you going to try and secure the door?
I'll do that on one door and try and secure the other.
Okay. Which door do you do a bone chime, and which door do you?
I'll try and secure the door where we entered.
So the one over. Damn it! I've got two purple mice.
Fucking losing.
This is my brother's best friend.
So you secure this one.
Yeah, sorry, distraction. Yes.
And bone chimes here.
Yes.
Okay. So do you want me to make 2 individual checks for each one, or do you want me to make just a total check for all of that?
Can I make a recommendation?
No. Maybe. What?
She can do the bone chimes, but I would like to block the door to the little study room.
These doors, I don't know if you remember, but they don't swing in and out. They slid into the wall. And they currently stand open. So there's really no way to place a chair against the door and block it. Maybe the one down there, but the ones to the north.
Well, what I was thinking is like putting the chairs in a way, like somebody tries to come through there, they trip over the chair or something.
How about like a really, really blind person that can't see a chair?
How about I get my hammer, I smash all the furniture into shards, and move the shards in front of the doorway.
That'll work.
Well, for the
Or better yet, move all the furniture to the door and smash it in front of the door.
the eastern door, that might work. The northern door is currently open. Like it's 2 stone slabs.
Yeah,
slid
it's just
apart.
if they walk, they have to like jump over it. But regardless, if they don't, they're walking through wood shards. You can hear that.
If that's what you want, but that's going to be loud as fuck.
Yeah.
Actually, let's.
We'll just do one check on mine.
Okay, so bone chimes to the north and lock or sealed door to the east.
And I get a +5 to sleight of hand.
+5. All right. All right. So you feel a little safer after you finish doing your thing with the doors. So here's how resting works. A short rest is just a 5-minute break. During that time period, you roll the random encounter die 1 time. If you take a long rest, just although it's not exactly like, well, the way I do it is that there's 2 shifts, 8 hours, and there's 2 encounter dice rolled, and then naturally the people that are asleep are at a bit of a disadvantage if you get attacked. When resting in dungeons, depending on how safe of how secure your location, I might make it so that on a 5 or a 6 you get attacked. But if it's pretty secure, then it's only on a 6. So does that like make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like it's a transparent system that again that nobody can say DM shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
So are you doing a short or a long rest? A long rest, you recover everything, spells back and all that shit. Short rest, you get whatever benefits you get during a short rest, plus you can spend hit dice to heal.
Okay.
Before we take a long rest, can I tap 1 or 2 of the barrels and see if I can find an empty one?
Well, 11 out of 12 of those are empty, but you know at least one of those is filled with poison gas. So there's really no way to tell if it's poison gas except by basically turning the tap and hoping for the best.
You said the one barrel that's not poison that's heavy.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and lug the barrels to the eastern entrance.
Okay.
If we're rested, I'm gonna get back to my office.
Generally speaking, like, I mean, if one person does something to secure the room, like doing like redundant things on top of it really is not gonna like change it. If first method was secure, it's gonna be secure. If it wasn't, it just, you know.
Yeah.
It turns resting from an ordeal into a little bit more of an arcadey, but let's get on with the game
Yeah.
type feel.
Alright,
I mean, if everybody's on board with that, that's my normal way of doing things. If you guys don't like it, we can do it a different way.
Alright, I'll do something else before we rest. I'm gonna use one of my spells to top off everyone's water flask.
Okay. Alright, so you create water and fill up 10 gallons of water into everybody's water skin. Which, for 5 of you, that's exactly enough for it to sustain you for 1 day. Does anybody not like my rest system? Because it's worked really great in the past, but I just want to make sure that everybody's
I like it.
going forward. Okay. So, who has first shift?
I roll first shift.
Okay, I'll.
And sometimes it's good to have a friend. Like 2 people will take first shift, 2 people take second shift, or 2 and then 3.
I'll take
As long as someone gets 6 hours of sleep, you're good. So.
Yeah, I just need 4 hours.
And then, yeah, some of you need
Yeah.
4.
if Ravis or Ravis wants, I'll take second shift with him.
That works fine. Actually, no, I'll take third shift because I was thinking of making some breakfast.
There is no third shift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a long rest. There's just 2 random encounter chances: a first shift and a second shift.
I'll take second watch then until I can keep during the watch when everybody gets up, gets to eat.
Okay. So again, first, who has first?
I'll take first with Paul.
Okay. One of you go ahead and roll an encounter die, or d6. Are you cold, huh?
1.
No. Okay. Are you cold? Do you want me to set it?
No. If
What?
everybody's cold, then we can change it. Okay.
I'm gonna
Go ahead. You can just step in the restroom, or you can do whatever. Alright, have fun. So the first shift goes by without any incident. There's one moment where you could have sworn you heard one of the door handles turn, but you're not sure. But nothing happened. Second shift, that was.
It was Ravis and Adrik.
Okay. One of y'all give me a d6 roll.
Come on, lucky G6. 1.
Yay.
So the second shift goes by without incident, and you all wake up to the smell of what's for breakfast.
I figure under the circumstances, the best I can really manage is a kind of little stew in a stew pot.
So like what, maybe with some of the jerky from like the hard tack or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's basically slightly better than chicken noodle soup.
Yeah. Well, I mean that makes sense. You could have dried vegetables in there too. So I mean, it would definitely be a hot meal at least. So.
Ooh, plus I offer up some salt from my belt pouch.
Seasoned with
Hey, if somebody has a spell component pouch, there's plenty of spices.
I hadn't thought of that.
A polar bear's
I
gallbladder
was gonna say.
dry
I think
Delicious.
I'll pass on that. Ellie might be interested.
I whip up in my trench coat, go, what you want? I got you some ginger, I got you some thyme, some cayenne pepper, what you need?
Oh wow. Negative 10 points for Gryffindor. Okay. Well, so you guys wake up, eat. You feel as refreshed as you're going to feel given the circumstances, and other than maybe being a little creeped out, you're good to go.
That necklace that we found in the room, I want to like examine it and see if there's any like markings or if there's like a message on it or anything like that.
Actually, that kind of reminded me of something. Give me a charisma save, please.
What?
You don't know what it's for. It appears to be a mundane necklace. I mean, it's pretty.
What?
For a minute, I was like, what the fuck? Like, is there like a dog looking at? But no.
Yeah, just I know sometimes like there could be writing or initials or something. That's what I was trying to find. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
It's just pretty.
Perhaps, young miss, we should stop obsessing over Drunken.
Should I?
Endeavor to figure out how we're going to get anywhere in this desert.
Well, I'm gonna endeavor to find out how much I'm gonna get for this necklace, and you're not getting one for it.
Barbarian.
Share the love.
All right.
Adrik's like, nope, I don't want none of this.
I'm fine when I get
Desecrating corpses is where I draw the line. Like, nope, 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 nope. Messing with the dead is bad juju.
Have you considered the possibility that you might arouse the wrath of the lich, or maybe even a revenant?
I mean,
For anything from the demon clan.
I can always go hide, so.
You can even incur the wrath of a bitch.
Yeah, you're about to.
That's a witch that's mad.
So I'll split my 400 gold with you, because everybody else is being rude. I said, you did. We'll get rich together.
I turn and look towards Ravis and I just look at him and go, we tried. We tried. We'll,
I mean, I'm a rogue. I'm gonna look for the expensive, valuable stuff. That's just me.
I'm the cleric that'll be the one performing the funeral rites. Dear Heavenly Father, we are here to bury such and such because she likes too much damn shiny shit.
Oh dear.
Why don't we proceed for something so more and see if we can maybe find anything useful in the room where a bunch of people apparently took death and were mummified. You know, as I say this out loud, I realize that's not really much better.
There might be some more ingredients for breakfast.
I know, right? Which I'm still eating my beef jerky, by the way.
I mean, sure, you can add that to your stew. I'll keep my stew over here.
Not that I'm into that kind of thing, but I hear that alchemists tend to like mold. I mean, if there's mold in the room, you could possibly get something for it.
Oh my god, people.
And you guys think I'm gonna die and you're over here eating mold?
I'm not saying
Not
that.
eat it.
I'm not
Just
saying.
scrape it off of dead things. Throw it into a potion.
I mean, why not? We're
Possibly
desecrating
going on.
corpses. Let's just go ahead and just gather all the ingredients we find
I'm
and
just
sell
gonna
them
put on my
too.
necklace
Start
to
stealing
go.
some rotten flesh. Make some poison.
I would like to point out that the dwarves of the Northern Mountains have quite a bustling business dealing in large and exotic mushrooms, delicacy to dinner. That's kind of like mold.
Wouldn't know anything anything about that, I will dwarf.
Hold up. Did
You
you just say
racist.
exotic mushrooms? I want some of those.
Well, next time I go home to visit the family, I'll see if I can bring you back some of the freaky fungus.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I
You
appreciate
are
freaking
quite
fungus.
welcome.
Can we go back to the fact you generalized all dwarves?
Hashtag not all doors.
What if we said all dragons were like salamanders, alright?
Excuse me, I said the dwarves of the northern mountains.
You assume this his race. Oh lord.
I have no idea how we even got in here.
Alright, you can't argue with a politically correct Minotaur.
I mean, I really feel like I can. But we've got things to do.
We really do.
Save, money to buy.
Necklaces to sell.
What?
Dead people to rob.
God damn it.
So,
More caskets to smash.
When we get to the city, I'm going to buy a great big keg of ale. Just for me. If you people make me drink.
You can buy a tutor for your skin.
I'll be sitting there beside you, drinking alongside you.
Did you just assume that you were invited to a drinking
He's
I didn't
"Hey,
ask.
this is like you stinking dwarf.
I didn't ask. I'll buy my own ale.
I'll make his own.
That's why they don't call it holy water for nothing.
yeah, dwarf holy water is pretty much just absinthe. Very
So that's
flammable
the
alcohol.
point I suppose apocalypse is political correctness is unlikely to do well in the post-apocalyptic future.
People do well in politics.
True.
It's like you can prove you're more righteous than the rest of the scabbers.
I say,
Okay, we're gonna go investigate the banquet hall.
Sure.
sure.
You go first.
You suddenly remember that there's like a caravan of people up above you, running out of water.
All starving to death.
Forgot about them.
Hey, I pointed out that was a priority.
You did.
Well, my thinking back to the cauldron that filled with water is if that water's coming from somewhere, there's got to be a source.
Let's go find the floor.
Water flow is down, so it could be a second floor.
If we could find a way to find the water, one, and purify it, there'd be plenty of water.
Could
I
curse the
mean,
whole
there was a
town,
lot of
too.
fleshy water.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
Think we can
Alright.
purify that?
So we know our goal, but we're still gonna make it through this banquet room.
I would also point out that we're warned there was something lurking in this place that wanted us to die in the desert here. And that's why we haven't been able to journey forward. Perhaps that should be our principal aim, is to find this force and end it. Then we can see about lining our pockets with gold from emergency water ration.
We can't really forget that Callie was cursed like
I wasn't
not
cursed.
right before we went to sleep.
I just didn't listen.
We just gotta acknowledge whoever's looking for the necklace, we'll just throw Callie at them.
Well, if you never smashed it open, I never would have found the necklace.
I honestly contemplated smashing the necklace too.
Rude.
The dwarf just looks at Ravis and goes, "Shall we carry on to the other room?"
Like as well.
Age before beauty, Master Dwarf.
Oh, said you
So
were
I walked
beautiful.
in.
Don't forget, I'm the one that looks like I'm clearly being sarcastic.
Oh my.
Okay.
I got y'all can just stand in a hall and argue.
We are.
Cows and dragons don't go on.
Well, how about we all go force at once since everyone wants to argue?
Yes. Cows and
See, cows and dragons have a magnificent relationship.
Oh yeah,
Such noble creatures they are.
I don't know, seriously. And they talking about me with the necklace.
What y'all doing?
Alright, I'm walking in first.
I'm gonna use the key to open the door with the eye.
The door's still open. Unless you didn't lock them when you left.
No, we didn't.
Alright,
So
I'm
you just
walking
go
in.
up and hit in.
Yeah, and I'm gonna walk in and cast Divine Sense as soon as I get in. But I want to get pretty far in the room, like halfway through the room before I do that.
Okay. You do not have dark vision, so
I do.
about the time you get near the table there, the kind of center-ish, it's pretty dark.
Okay. Is that something that you do with my reworking of my characters? You got rid of the dark vision?
Well, I looked it up and
Yeah.
Minotaurs don't have dark vision.
Okay.
So, not even the one that you had dark vision.
Before you go in the room, I want, or is it too late?
Someone went in the door.
Yeah. Gone.
So, I mean, you can always just strike a torch or whatever. I mean, I just need to know that you're carrying a torch or whatever.
Okay.
Basically, you have torches. I mean, I don't really count
Well,
them
I
out right
need a
now.
torch because apparently dragons don't have dark vision anymore. So I'm blind as a bat without one, if nothing else.
Okay. So, you cast Divine Sense in here. You do not get the feeling of evil. You only feel a sudden pang of sadness. It's kind of, for a moment, you feel like you're going to weep, and then it courses through you. The room is silent, save for the sound of your footsteps and the crackle of the torches on the walls.
So those two, they look like are those torches by the walls where the doorway is?
You mean up here?
No, the other doorway. Sorry.
I walk up to the wall.
Yeah, those.
So on your right and left. What?
I walk up to Bulk and I touch his hammer and I cast light upon it.
Bro, you don't touch somebody's hammer without them asking.
Especially when you put light upon it.
Now here's the question. What if he was asking for it?
What determines that? What I'm wearing?
Are you wearing these or that?
Oh yeah.
It's the loincloth.
And only the loincloth.
Whenever you do that divine sense, you always get that coming hither look.
Oh my. Okay. Near the southern
experience.
Near the southern door, there is two what appear to be wash basins. These do not have what seem to be like fountains flowing into them. You imagine that once upon a time they were filled with clean water and then empty and cleaned out before the next meal.
Okay.
There is right now they're just bone dry.
I mean, I'm gonna start searching the bodies.
Okay.
Well, she's searching bodies for, I'm guessing, loot.
Mhm.
I'm going to be checking the bodies for physical damage like scorch marks, claw marks, breakages.
You do not find any obvious wounds on them. Most of the bodies are say, able-aged people from around late teens to about the human equivalent of early 60s. But there's a mix of mostly human, but there's a smattering of the other common races and whatnot in there. So, what do you like, burn in their pockets or something?
I mean, I'm searching for jewelry, pouches of gold, rings, earrings, anything.
Okay.
What?
Being the righteous man I am, I'm going to utter prayer rites for them, for the dead.
I'm gonna search for liquid lady.
Yeah.
Okay. Both of you give me perception checks then.
Ooh, my perception's bad. I got a 5.
14.
5 and a 14. Okay. So you find that these people really aren't terribly wealthy. You find a few copper rings and earrings and various amounts of silver pieces that amount to 14 gold pieces.
Okay. I'll take it.
I know, like, oh look, there's like 40 corpses in here. Let's start running.
Let's
the
count them
pockets.
all for 14 gold.
I'm not running pockets.
just
I'm
sitting
saying
there.
a few brief.
You two are saying prayers while you're digging for pockets.
Well, that's why he's the cleric and
That's our
I'm
party
the rogue.
That's our party dynamic right
All right. What's everybody else doing?
there. Okay, how many torches do we get in an explorer's kit?
I don't really. I mean, I assume that you bring enough. Yeah, but I mean,
You don't really do much with the units of
I don't really worry about petty stuff like
If it's under like a gold piece, generally you can have it on you as long as you don't have like 100.
yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
it's
light
like-
a torch in the room.
it's like arrows and stuff. Like, you know, if you're a ranger or whatever and you use a bow, I assume that you bring enough arrows to get the job done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fun counting how many crossbow bolts you shot and bullshit like that. So I mean, torches can be fashioned from most anything. You can wrap a mummy hand in cloth and light it up for all it really matters. So
I'm gonna get that torch. I'm gonna go assist security.
Adrik, but you don't need to light a torch. I cast light on your weapon.
Okay,
you-
so it's already got the emanation.
you have a glowing
I'm
hand.
lighting the torch for heat purposes. You got holy water. I figured we can burn the bodies as kind of funeral rites.
There's a lot of bodies in here.
It would take way too much
That's
holy
what
water
that's for.
to do. It would I don't have enough.
What if I just set a pile?
Well, here's the thing that
Bless the whole pile of bodies.
it would take hours to clear out the people in here,
Okay.
and there is a caravan like, you know,
I say
not
leave
trying
the
to die
bodies.
above you.
Alright.
I say leave the bodies for now. I say my brief prayers for the dead and let's move on.
Alright. Since I still got the torch, I'm gonna look for any openings or creases in the walls of the ceiling, or gas or something they have poured in, maybe even water.
Okay, give me a perception check, please.
May I roll to assist?
I rolled a 14.
You can roll an independent one.
Okay. I don't see shit.
Yeah, there's nothing that appears to be like the walls appear to be solid masonry. Don't see anything that would do that, no.
Okay. That top right door is the one we haven't gone through, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna go check out that door.
Okay. Everybody roll me a perception check, please. No, do an insight check, please.
I got a 4.
Woo!
I got an 11.
Oh, tonight.
I got a 19. Actually, 20.
I got 16.
What?
16.
16?
So I'll put
Alright.
20.
So, okay. So, Balg, while searching the room for, whatever, you hear what sounds like pages flipping, and you notice that even though there's no wind in here, that there is a lectern at the western side of the room, and you see a few of the pages kind of flip as you nearby, and then they are still. You look at the lectern, and do you can you read Draconic? So the book appears to be filled with blah blah that you can't read.
Word blah blah. For Ravis.
I'll take your word for it. 'Cause, yeah.
It's Kesha.
Oh, I wouldn't know. So. What are you doing?
Who the hell can read Draconic?
No, we
Really?
need chipmunks.
Rude is like
What
the
do you think?
bossiest one here.
All right. So the book, which is in the language known as Draconic, in modern time, like our time, we would know the language is Latin.
No.
But it's Draconic now.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. So the pages have flipped to near the end of the book, and it seems like a kind of almost like a sermon of sorts. You start reading it, and the passage really starts catching your eyes when it says, so we've worked our hands to the bone, and we know what's in store for us. I don't think any of us want to share that fate. And so tonight, thanks to a gift from the one who smiles upon us, tonight we can decide our own fate. So let us eat, let us be joyful and sing. Let's embrace our loved ones, and let's
He's flipping through pages reading.
and let's say our farewells. And as you flip the page, expecting to read more, there is a key in the back of the book that has a hand motif on the hand of it. It looks kind of like eerily like a human hand turning a key that is a key. of a human hand turning a key.
This was definitely a first place, long before it disappeared beneath the sand.
Oh, you think?
Also, as you pull the key out, a few petals of nightshade fall upon the lectern.
Isn't nightshade really expensive?
And poisons.
And poisonous, too.
Huh. I'm gonna grab it, but no, I'm not.
Yeah, a few drops of nightshade extract will kill a person.
Well, no, actually, I am. I'm going to gather it into a vial.
Okay. Nightshade's not particularly, like, valuable except in maybe large quantities.
Oh, well, I know, but I'm not looking to sell it. Just the poison part of it's pretty.
The leaves are pretty dry. They probably have
so
lost
you
their
couldn't
potency over the centuries.
Well, fine. I leave them on the ground.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the nightshade, soak it in my water, and smear it on my hand.
Okay, good luck with that. Alright. What are y'all doing now?
I guess we're gonna go. Where else can we explore? Have we explored all the rooms or no?
No, like,
Okay. Well, I'm trying to figure out where else we need to go.
well, sometimes somebody like mapping things out can be helpful, but
I'm not that person, unfortunately.
nobody's.
Yeah.
Should I ask?
Okay. Which room are we in? The same one we've been in.
Same one. Yep.
And so far on our perception checks, what have we found out?
Well, you just found a key for it's a key that's shaped like a hand holding a key.
Okay.
Yeah. That key
Very meta.
is the hand holding a key.
Keyception.
Kind of makes your brain hurt looking at it a little bit.
And this top right door. Okay, what actually happened when we examined that book with the Draconic?
Basically, you learn that the people here kill themselves knowingly rather than avoid some terrible fate.
Okay. And the top right door is still locked.
No. Nobody's checked the top right door.
I'll go check the top right door.
The handle turns easily.
Okay.
Let's say we go in there and check it out.
Alright, so who's the last in your marching order?
I guess that would be me.
Alright, so as everybody filters through the door, you hear a clatter from behind you.
I start running.
I go up to it and check it out.
I'm gonna say only Callie heard, and as the door is shutting, you hear from behind.
And nobody else heard this? Okay, well, I'm not gonna say anything.
All right.
Just by yourself.
Shut up.
Okay. So turning around the corner, you guys are. Oh my god! Why do I have to have two purple mice? It's annoying. Actually, you should never know get them. They're chilly.
I thought I was the only one.
No.
You should have told me.
I mean, I just got chilly. Like, okay. Anyways, you find yourself you can continue forward, and there is a door up ahead, or you could head south where there is it's dimly lit with coals and fragrant smoke from what smells like incense recently poured upon the braziers. It's up to you, but you're about here.
I go right.
All right. So it's a metal door up ahead of you.
Any mechanisms, like lock mechanisms?
It doesn't look like it.
I open the door, or try to.
All right. So you open the door, and you find yourself looking at a bunch of dusty old beds that look like they've been undisturbed for a very, very long time. There is, you can tell under the blankets, there is some remains, and there is a body sprawled out on the floor in front of a crackling fire.
Huh.
Okay.
Who's all in the room?
I'm the first one in the room. So
Alright, I'm gonna
Oh.
follow behind you.
I will follow behind her.
I'm gonna go check out the body while you're thinking.
before you can check out the body, I'm gonna go up to it and smash its leg with a hammer.
Room? I wanted to check her out.
Okay. You hear a crunch as the leg crunches.
Now I go up and check it out since it's all smashed into little bitty bits.
Oh, just the leg.
Just the leg. And
But,
check the rest of it out.
They are dressed in some very simple cotton garb. The skin's kind of leathery, and there is what appears to be a cut wound from what's on their back. It looks like that they were cut down while running away from something.
I look at everyone else and ask, do they think it was something evil in here that did this to this person?
Considering it's the first body we came across that actually has defensive wounds, I'm guessing. So.
Evil is subjective. Dangerous is
Yeah. But it's the first body we've come across that actually has wound on it, unlike the others.
I'm gonna go with my torch, investigate the area behind him, like that area where he may have been running from. That whole stretch of hallway, essentially, with all the beds on the top row.
Here?
Yeah,
Okay.
that whole area.
All right. Give me a perception check, please.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go check out the other side.
Okay.
I'll go with her.
Yeah, I rolled 18 on perception.
18. Okay. So, is anybody else with Balg or?
I'll go with one.
Okay. So Bald, walking through here, notices that the humanoid shapes that are like laying in their bed that look like they were like killed in their sleep. There's some like staining on the sheets. It's inconsistent with like if they had just been like stabbed to death, there would be maybe like a circular blood wound that dripped down, but instead there is a human-shaped wet stain where the bodies are, and the bodies do not look desiccated like the rest of these have been. These look almost like they've been soaking in water for
a while. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and insist that everyone in the party lights a torch.
Well, only 2 of you, if I'm not mistaken, can't see in the dark. And you still have the glowy hammer. I mean,
Just
you
enough,
can
enough
still
light
light.
coverage for the whole room to be in there, like for everyone who was seeing it in the room.
Okay, so everybody hears Bob say, like, light a torch, whether
We
they
don't
listen or
need to.
not.
I'm not gonna listen. I have dark vision and I'm a real gummo about being unseen. Sorry.
Well, since
I'm a dwarf, I can see in the dark.
2 people who can't see, I'll just let a torch run and stick it on the wall where it can.
Alright. Where's Ravis during all this?
I'm in the room with them, mostly just keeping an eye on everybody, trying to
Well,
suss out what's going on.
like, did you head down the northern corridor? Did you head down the one going southeast?
Which is where me and
Yeah,
Viessa are.
Callie and Viessa,
Viessa.
down there, and Adrik and Balg are up here.
I'm gonna go with Adrik and Ball for the simple reason that I don't think they're a curse, and for all that they sometimes run into trouble, they're not stupid.
Okay, that's a good reason. Okay. So who actually lights the torch up again?
Viessa lit a torch and put it on the wall.
Alright. So go ahead and place your tokens where you would be during this.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, something's about to kick off, and I need to know where y'all are at.
So like, that's okay over there. Right there. Actually,
So in fact, we'll just go ahead and get it out of the way. Everybody give me a perception check, except for Ball.
no,
who's
Ravis came with us.
already done so.
I didn't hear that last part.
Perception check.
Motherfucker!
I got a 12. All of us. Yeah. Except for you.
What are we
You're
trying?
good.
I have no chance.
Alright, I got a
I got a 12.
Plus 5.
alright, 15.
I got an
I
11.
got 13.
Oh,
15.
I'm gonna go close the windows real quick. I'll be right back.
So far, the highest we've gotten is 15. Why? My hands are cold like mine. Mine stay cold. I don't know. Is this the Christmas one? Elena had me try one the other night and it was disgusting and I don't want to try it again. Babe, is this the one, the Northern
Is it
Lights?
7.7?
Excuse me?
Is Northern Lights the Christmas tree beer? It's
yeah,
the IPA.
It's kind of
No,
tastes like a pine
I'm
tree.
good. I don't want it.
That's what it is.
You can throw it away.
I'm not gonna.
It's
Already-
pretty bad.
I opened it up.
It's disgusting. You really don't have to. I tell her,
Yeah.
I've been telling her to throw it away.
So the other 3 are delicious. There's like a coffee stout.
When I looked in there, I
There's
saw all the flavors and I was like, I don't want to be an asshole and jug the good flavors. I see one bottle that's actually duplicated, so it was this one that snagged it.
yeah, so it's like winter flavors, and that one it tastes like Christmas.
It's pine tree flavor.
Quite literally, it's pine tree flavor.
Yeah, you really don't want to drink that.
If you want to suck up a tree, this is the way to do it.
Is that the coffee one?
Coffee one. Yeah, it's a coffee cream.
No,
porter.
she's asking if you want it.
Oh, if I want it, well, I actually stopped drinking because I don't know when y'all want to go home, and I don't want to be, well, I don't want to go to the legal limit, which I don't think I've got
Stop.
anything
Turn it
but.
out. You're fine.
But yeah, unless y'all are like staying over, I don't want to keep drinking.
Alright.
Which, I mean, we would love to have you all over. We don't have a lot of space for everybody. So we all share a bed, but it'd be pretty snug. What?
We're all about our cuddling.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Plus, if you had the two cats, so I mean,
oh God.
it'd be a very snuggly bed.
It would be. You okay? Oh, where's the beer opener? Thank you.
What time are y'all wanting to call it tonight? Because that will like give me an idea if I can like have another drink or if I should not.
Yeah, I'm not working. He's not working. She's not working. So.
I'm not working.
I mean, do you guys have a time you want to stop?
So,
Okay. We'll ask him when we can talk.
what time are you wanting to call it, Cameron?
I could probably do 12:30, but after that,
12:30. I don't even know what time it is.
It's 12.
Okay. So, I'll have another one.
Are you sure?
I mean, I'll just have a beer.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Want me to grab it?
no, I'll get it.
Tastes like black coffee.
Huh?
Tastes like black coffee.
To me, it tastes like a coffee with cream. I mean, I like it. If you don't like it, I'll drink it. I think it's pretty hella good.
Oh no, it's not bad
The
at all.
coffee style.
But I mean, I taste like it tastes like one of those ones like
It
with
really
like two
smells like
creamers in
coffee.
it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not like.
It's not my creamer. When I
Pretty good beer. When you what?
when I put cream in my coffee, I make it light and sweet.
Yeah. I hear that. Yeah, the soup line is pretty good. There's a vanilla porter here that's delicious. I'm really drinking that.
What's it
And-
called?
This is a two-tone vanilla porter. This one's really good. The snow blind was like my third favorite in there. It's a German lager with like, I don't know, it's kind of Christmassy flavor. I don't really know how to explain it. It's not pine tree though. It doesn't taste like pine sol, so that's something. Something good.
Are you trying to draw me?
Where's that beer?
Right
Pop
here.
top game. Pop top game.
Chicka, meow.
Try this. This is like that's a dark Irish style, like Guinness with vanilla. Try.
What's that?
It's like, I love like a dark, rich, creamy beer. It's good. I hate that.
Yeah, no,
I hate American beer. Like,
just regular.
just tastes like water. Like, so just like piss.
My dad's favorite one thing
Oh
ever.
my god, Bud Light, like, ugh. I can't. I mean, I'm a bit of a beer snob. Bit of a beer snob.
Are you trying to draw my card?
All right.
You said no, but I don't
I said I'm not drawing you.
No,
So-
I said me. I meant.
What was everybody's checks again for that?
Oh yeah, mine was 15. Her
13.
11. Okay.
Yours
And,
had-
are you still with us, Cameron?
I'm here.
What Ravis get?
Oh, I got 13.
13? Okay. So the two of you with 15. It's easy to miss because it's almost silent. In most of the beds, the figures sit up at exactly the same time. They then swing a leg out all at the same time, swing the other leg out, and then stand up. And then the bodies kind of explode with just a wet pop sound. And their skeletal frame remains, except instead of having hands, their arms are like two scything blades. And they start making a clicky noise as they start walking towards you. You hear roll initiative. Clickers.
Running away is a free action, right?
I'm sorry?
Running away is a free action.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to pop the torch me.
I roll a 10.
God damn it!
Right? I did plus one.
Yeah, you got your initiative there.
Well,
Here's the
Master
card.
DM, we have advantage on initiative rolls, right?
Those of you that
The initiative cards.
that succeeded on that last check, you are going to act in the surprise round, but your initiative is your initiative.
I know. I was just joking. I rolled
Oh.
shit.
Well, it's funny because I think one of the barbarian paths gives you initiative on all, or gives you advantage on all initiative checks. At least our last barbarian had something like that. Maybe it was an item. I don't remember.
Ravis, what was your roll?
I got a 5 initiative.
Well, my bad guys didn't do much better.
Yay!
They got 8. There.
All right.
Oh, that's annoying. There's a file on my phone that I need to get or want to get. Can't get it. Hi.
well, the one that I have on my phone. You should write in my dog.
Oh no, I can't get it because my phone's not plugged in. God damn it.
My phone's hands, I can
It's actually not really good for me.
Think I'm gonna do something cool. It's really cool.
Nobody notices how short I am until this thing. I'm so serious about that.
Jake, you big old hand.
So guy,
Hey, Krystal, you should take a look at Jake over here. He's just rubbing up against that bag.
He's painting. That's his lazy version of playing. Pretty much. I'm just gonna lay here and paw stuff and be cute.
His play is so cute though.
He's playing with the bag right now. It's pretty adorable. He's a jiggy boo.
No.
He's a big cutie. It's a meow. You're here for my entertainment, bitch. It's not the other way around. Fuck you. Cats are slobs.
I was gonna clean my couch up, but I was like, I finished one day, and I kept like this shit on. I was like, what a good girl. It's okay, but my friend, she can't go through me, so she does not.
She won't taste it. Oh, I can smell it.
She in my shirt, and I was like, this thing flashing my tits.
What?
I
I heard part of that sentence.
my friend slept over last night. I go to work with her. Or we work together. And, yesterday was one of those days I wasn't wearing a bra. Because I was wearing a flannel, so now, like, my boss could tell that I was wearing a bra or not. So, like, I'm rolling with it. And then I was changing my pajama shirt, and I looked at her, I was like, sir, I'm going to flash my tits for, like, 3 seconds.
Oh. Sorry, I guess it's my brain. I just heard like
Tits.
it was like
Flash tits.
So
Those are ugly.
oh man. It's not a good image of shit. Kinda stole this from the house, but yeah, they look something like that.
They look more frightening.
Yay!
Oh, shit.
Right, at least I'm an elf. So
There we go. There we go.
Thanks.
Oh, lovely.
I'm gonna do elf things, motherfucker.
Right.
I'm gonna do the rope thing and run the fuck away.
Yeah, fight those.
Oh,
I'm gonna do the dwarf thing and stand my ground.
you just get drunk.
So, I'm gonna end up moving this, which is gonna end up moving everybody's pieces, and I apologize, but either way, you can see. So just go ahead and move whereabouts you were, and then I will start placing. Yeah.
Raspberries.
What are you doing?
I was like, I hope this is either a raspberry, not somebody pack of ripping ass.
Oh, no, it's a raspberry. Why do we call them raspberries?
This is
Uh,
the color of your face after you do it. You go red.
Glowing raspberries.
That's a good question.
I say raspberries and straw babies. And babies.
Yeah, I don't know why. That is a good question. And I don't know the answer.
Alright, so we're fighting things.
Wait, what?
Fighting things.
Fighting
Just
things.
don't humanize them. It's cool.
They're not human.
Where exactly were we?
You guys were up in this hall, and you guys were down in that hall.
The only person there.
You're the only one on my side about the loot. I'm not gonna leave you.
See?
It's totally
Those are
not
my alienated
guys and
eyes.
girls.
Yeah, I'll go with the rogue.
I'll go with the vagina over the penises. Going with the penis is never a good idea. Well, I mean,
Something with the penis.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, you got wrong.
prove it.
There's my third leg.
Prove it. That's all I say. Prove it.
You want to prove that I don't have a penis?
I want to see the baby's arm. Like a baby's arm, it was. Oh, Ozzy Osbourne.
Gotta bring my character out to life now.
Alright. I like need a stick with like a
I need a-
rubber nub on it, because
What about her pencil?
it's like a tiny stick.
Something. Maybe you want to help her.
What? Help me? Nah. The nub's not nubby enough.
I'm sorry.
What you need?
Nothing. I got this.
She's too busy trying to draw my elf.
Oh.
Instead of just waiting until I download the app and upload my picture.
This is always fun.
Fun.
You like drawing.
She likes drawing. Plus.
Wait, what?
He said if you like drawing, that she loves drawing.
Who?
You.
I don't draw anymore. I used to.
Anymore, but still, you're still in it.
Yeah. I usually did art and different. I mean, I drew when I was younger, but my art has shifted a lot over the years.
Alright, somebody in this situation is about to shit fuck.
Oh, right. And I said they all stepped off the bed. Oh, well, that's close enough. All right.
He went back to sleep.
No, they definitely are looking like the dudes before and are not sleepy looking. So, who is up?
First up would be me, but I'm going to hold my action.
Okay.
I said you can.
Oh, okay. That's rude.
Next up is Callie, followed by Viessa.
Surprise round.
Oh yeah. that's right.
So it was just you and somebody.
Viessa. What?
You guys were the only ones that succeeded in your
Fine.
check to like see these things stand up, and then everybody else saw it like right as there is exploding flesh.
That's okay. If you honestly drop it,
Yeah,
it doesn't
if
count.
you drop it and you like legitimately dropped it, it doesn't count.
I am also.
You have to roll with intention.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so. I don't like this character.
Oh,
Yeah,
please don't.
You
I
could.
already have 5. I'm gonna hit number 5.
I mean, is there a way that you can think of that we have like can go around this thing and still reach this thing? And there's these really cool tables that have like a hollow in the middle where they put TVs.
We just need to find somebody to make that for us, or find somebody to buy it for us.
They're so cool.
My that's my stuff that was really I actually made my stairs. Yeah, you saw our living room, right? And you saw where the TV is?
If you want to make us a D&D table, awesome.
Yeah,
In the meantime, we got a deal. So,
Alright.
um,
Alright, I'm gonna hit number 5 with my longsword.
so you're gonna move up to number 5 and stick 'em.
Stabby.
Okay. Yeah, you totally can. Whenever you do a short rest, you get both your animal like shapes back. So most wild shape druids pretty much you can shift into wild shape as a bonus action, which means you can do it for free.
Okay.
can turn into an octopus and flop around on the floor. Actually, you can't do that until next level.
Alright, I am going.
Turn into a Magikarp.
How do you guys feel about giant spiders here? Alright, well, anyway, I'm gonna turn into a giant spider.
I'm gonna ride you.
And
I don't know if I should be like turned on or frightened. Or both.
right?
Strangest boner.
I'm gonna turn into a giant spider and
For giant spiders, like what makes them awesome is one, they can climb walls, and two, web.
yeah, I was just looking for web.
Web is awesome.
Alright, I'm gonna do my web.
Leave it 60 feet.
Okay.
So what do I plus this one?
It should have a on the card like a web plus. Yeah,
Range open attack plus 5.
Yep.
Alright.
that's it.
Alright. Come on, give me a good number. Alright, 19 plus 5, 24.
Yeah. Yeah, that will do things.
Okay.
What's it do?
The target is restraining by webbing. As an action, the restrained target can make a DC 12 strength check, bursting the webbing on a success. The webbing can also attack by destroying AC 10, HP 5, vulnerability to fire damage, immunity to bludgeoning, poison, and psych damage. To snare its prey, a giant spider spins elaborate webs or shoots sticky strands of webbing from its abdomen. Giant spiders are most commonly found underground, making
Well, we don't need to know
Yeah.
all about them. We just need to know
Okay.
what that web does to the enemy. So that it is, so there's no throw. It's just it's web, right? So
Poison.
it basically has to work to get out. But does it do any damage or anything like that? Did it say? And is that a bonus action or a standard action? Because it's a good way to deal with like big single target, but I don't know if it's like great to deal with a group of enemies.
It doesn't say whether it's a bonus action or as an action. Okay, yeah, so it's per action.
So
And it doesn't.
I'm gonna allow you like a mulligan here since I know you're new to your animal stuff. Spider is awesome for like crowd controlling like a really powerful single enemy because you can just keep
So just one.
webbing it, but your wolf is much better for actually murdering things.
Alrighty, so start on the spider. And so I actually turned into a wolf, guys. Sorry for you. There was no spider there. Okay,
Just
so
a joke.
it was just a joke. So you can ride the wolf, not spider. I'm sorry. Maybe next time. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and bite my person and can I still stick with what I rolled, the 24?
Yeah, that's fine. Sure,
Okay,
why
so
not?
24.
So you're for
Yeah.
your bite, you're
That
gonna
hits.
whatever the damages, yeah.
And then I can make a strength saving throw that stays standing or something.
Yeah.
17.
So I'm pretty sure that passes. Yeah. It had to be 13 or higher.
Alright, how much damage was that? Did you tell me?
Oh, you had to roll the damage. You rolled the hit.
Oh,
So it's 2d6 plus. We did not.
and I take the higher number, right?
No. That's just for you already rolled the hit because the last time the
So I
24.
just need to do the
2d6. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, honey. You're good. No problem.
Alright, and this one I add these 2 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Come on, baby.
There you
Alright,
go.
so 13.
Alright, so that was 13 to 5.
Not too shabby.
So, you waste no time. The moment like these like corpses explode, like the sound of wet flesh slapping against the walls and furniture, you lunge into wolf form and you have your jaws around one of their throats, trying to tear it out. Nearly 60. All right. Who's up?
I'm confused. Callie should have went first before Viessa.
Oh, but that was a surprise round.
Right.
Only 2 people acting surprise round.
And it
One was
Viessa and Adrik, which they went.
you held your action, and so
Then she went. So now we're going back to regular initiative order.
yeah. So basically, you missed your turn because you never took one. Do you want to rectify that? Like take your turn before, or wait, you can't hold your action in a surprise round because
I mean, you only get one action, so if
no. You're thinking 4th edition. You get a full surprise round. You get your move, your attack, and all that. But if you held your action in a surprise round, you would just lose your action because not everybody gets to act in the surprise round. So take an action, motherfucker.
Can I ready a spell?
You can, but okay. Sure. What are you readying?
I'm actually ready. Turn undead.
So why would you just not turn undead and ready turn undead? Like
Does it have to be within 30 feet?
I'm pretty sure there's already one within 30 feet of you.
and you can move
At least one.
if you needed to.
And that. Yeah, I'm like so confused.
Actually,
Why are you being difficult? Why are you doing this, huh? Why are you being
actually,
Why are you doing this?
I'm just gonna sacred flame its ass.
Okay. Which ass are you sacred flaming?
One, Dex, please.
Tell me what to do. Ow. Ooh, yeah. A 2?
Eight points of radiant.
Alright. So, bright flash of holy light, and you can hear like a sizzle noise as it kind of recoils and its skin begins to curl and burn. Next.
Alright,
Like
if
her little
we're
sound
going
effect.
back around to we're now back into
Yeah.
the initiative order, I actually get to go again
Why?
because I'm first.
Oh,
Okay, so we're just gonna. Okay, sure. Wibbly, wobbly, timely, lively, something.
Again, second flame.
Okay. Oh yeah. Like, just say Dex save, so don't see her like an idiot. I rolled a nat 20, so.
You said it.
Yeah. You said. Fuck you, motherfucker! Do it, like, does it do anything like a.
No.
Fail save? Nothing? No. Wow, so it's like.
Next up is Callie, followed by Viessa.
Alright, I'm going to sneak attack on the one Viessa is fighting.
How are you sneak attacking when you're in the middle of the room?
Okay.
Although, actually, I guess they're flat-footed, so, well, technically they're flat-footed, even though kind of not really, but technically, so go ahead.
Okay.
Because they've not acted yet, like,
Yeah.
they can't,
I see.
they can't roll with an attack because they're not, like, they haven't done anything yet, so, henceforth, flat-foot.
So I got a 13 AC.
13 versus AC.
Yeah.
That is not a hit. These things are nope, because you would roll with advantage against something with flat foot.
That's
Something
amazing.
that not with flat foot. That is flat footed. Goddamn. I
Nat
can't
20, so I do crit,
Oh
which
my
means I
fucking
do
It's
Alright.
crit
This is
wars.
some
bullshit.
Save all the 20s for now.
Oh, that's my thing.
22 plus 27 points of damage.
Wow. And that was on which one?
The one that Viessa is fighting.
Okay. So as you're like tearing this thing's throat, a crossbow bolt just sticks right into its head and it just stops struggling.
So 5 dead.
Get that shit out of here. Alright. Yeah. Who's next?
Viessa.
Alright.
Followed by Mold.
As the enemy slides out of your jaws.
So,
Never had a fucking chance.
5 foot reach.
How do my enemies like get to jump and y'all and still get killed before they get to do anything?
Alright, so I have a 5 foot reach, so I don't know if I can.
Means you have to go out and murder something
Yeah.
in person.
Okay.
Which
Alright, so I
Pretty
can.
good
I
movement
can
as a
move,
wolf.
right?
Yeah, your movement should be on your character sheet.
I didn't know if it.
35.
I just didn't know.
No, she would use the wolf's speed.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I
Which,
was sorry, I keep
50
forgetting.
feet, cool beans.
Damn.
Wow.
Alright,
That's
so
a
I'm
speedy
gonna
wolf.
get all the personal in number 7 space.
Starting to see why moon druids are liked.
Alright,
Get up in this personal space.
right?
Get up in
So-
your personal space.
I'm gonna go up to him. I'm gonna try to bite his neck off. See what I can do. Alright, I
She's
got
rolling
number
19s.
24.
So it is.
Yeah.
Alright,
Like-
so
Y'all are level 3. 20 anything's gonna happen.
alright.
Anytime I roll an icy, I just never assume.
No, you're fine.
The 8 plus 3.
11.
11 points damage
11.
to which one was it? Number 7. Alright. So zipping across the room as soon as the one's dead, you and see if this thing's still standing. Cockeye. Fucking guy. Stop. What the save DC? 10. Does it fail?
Or no, yeah.
Oh no, it fails. Sorry.
So you run across the room and like crash into it and knock it over to the ground, and you start ripping and tearing at its chest. So 7 is prone. All right.
So
Who's
7 death?
Huh?
That 7 death?
No, it's not dead, but you knocked it to the ground. So
Bulb. Followed by bad guys.
no, but it has to spin its move action standing up rather than doing other things.
So I'm all the way over here.
I guess we need to. Fuck. They're all gonna be dead at
Cameron,
this
you
rate.
still here?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Did you fucking take my vape, Cameron?
What?
Did you fucking take my vape? No, it's not.
Yes, it's mine. You'll never get back.
You bastard!
Oh my god, they killed Kenny. You bastard.
I'm gonna use both of my movements for this action.
So like what your gore
No,
attack?
I'm just moving twice and calling it a turn.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go because I see where your walls and whatnot are built up. So I'm gonna go along the path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's where I'm stopping.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Okay.
You bastard.
All right. So who's?
They're not squishy though.
What?
Who?
I mean,
They can handle this side just from how I can see the encounter rolling. That's all. I got a strategy in my head. I'm rolling with it.
right. Next.
Bad guys, followed by Ravis.
Woohoo! Let's go.
Ravis.
Alright. So these things have a human flesh. Alright. So one is going to leap up into the air and dive at wow.
That was a diving.
No. No.
That is how
So
your foes into leaving you the fuck alone.
Stealth check.
those like claw-like hand things, it dives forward with those like out. It attempts to land on Adrik and start like clawing into the back of his spine. So it's going to be adjacent to him after it leaps.
Actually, the way we were walking along that way, so he'd be facing number 1.
Facing doesn't matter.
He's leaping in.
Oh, so he's
It's-
leaping for the flank. Okay.
Yeah, like which way you're facing in 5th edition doesn't matter. The only time it matters is if you're flanked, which means you got an enemy on both sides. Other than that, it doesn't really matter.
I got you.
But yeah, so it leaps and that's 20. And that's just with its first attack. Second one's gonna miss. It's a 7, but I did crit, so that's cool. Still not gonna do it. Yeah. Pretty terrible.
I don't want to get in trouble, so I never.
11 points of damage as the thing is just standing there 1 second. The next moment, it's sailing through the air, lands on your shoulders, and you feel its claws start piercing down like it's trying to insert itself into your flesh at the back of your spine. You can feel it just surgically cutting at you. 2 is going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And it can't leap. Oh, can you put 1 in front of? Yep, thanks. All right, so 2 is going to run over and take 2 swipes at old Yeller there, which I can't remember who that is. Who's Yellow?
That one is Ravis.
Ravis. Okay, attacking Ravis. Wow. My highest roll is a 13, so probably gonna do fuck all.
Oh, good.
So yeah, it starts swiping at you with these scythe-like arms, but you manage to parry the attack and knock it off balance. Just put the camera on you.
It's my go.
No, I have still a few more enemies left.
Oh God! You who are about to die, this is totally her fault for stealing the funky necklace.
That doesn't have anything to do with the necklace.
All right. Purple.
You don't know that.
Neither do you.
Who's purple?
Viessa.
No.
Okay. So 7 is going to do a double attack, and the other 2 are doing their insertion. So 7. One's gonna miss for sure. The other is a 15 versus AC.
That's a hit.
All right. So that's going to deal. Or roll the 1. It's going to deal 5 points of damage as one of its claws manages to rake across your forepaw, slicing it open.
I was gonna say.
4 jumps onto your back. Okay. And the lowest of the 2 attacks is 17. 12 points of piercing damage as it starts like clawing at the back of your neck. And then 6 is going to start trying to burrow itself into your torso. The lower one is a 14 versus AC,
No.
and the other one is 22. So that's gonna hit. 7 points of piercing damage as it manages to start to push itself into in between your ribs into your body.
So it's 5 and 7. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's 5, 12, and 7.
Yeah, that.
Wait, all 3 of them hit?
Not all of their attacks, but
All 3 of them have multiple attacks.
yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So I think that's everybody. So somebody.
Decide. Yellow.
Yeah, but he double moved and there's no more movement.
One was the one that attacked you.
Right. So so you all start hearing yelping as 3 of these things are piling onto I'm never gonna remember Viessa. I keep wanting to call her Viessa. Anyways, next.
Next is Ravis.
Alright. I'm going to turn to the one that was trying to stab me and in a very loud and angry tone declare, no touching!
I thought you were going to declare thumb war.
Right?
I would like to rage and use my reckless rage.
Okay.
Reckless strike. Okay.
Alright.
We got. Okay. Does a 15? No wait. Does a 20 hit?
I guess.
Yay!
If you insist.
17 voice damage to max.
Fuck. Okay.
And for second attack, I got frenzy strike. Stop only. Okay. Alright. Does a 21 hit the armor class?
It does.
Alright.
Slightly.
He takes 13 points damage.
Okay, so as this one like comes up behind you and like starts clawing, you manage to grab like one of the back ends of the side hands, and you start pushing, and it drives its own scythe through its torso, and then you yank up, bisecting it, and it spills its guts onto the ground, dead.
I approve this plan. Now, one other question, because I've tried this before. Can I still take a move action or no?
Yeah, you can. If you move, you will get an attack of opportunity from one of them, but you can do it. Yeah.
Alright, in that case,
Yeah, in 5th edition, you can move and then attack. You can attack and then move, and you can move, attack, and then move the rest of your movement.
excellent.
Yeah.
In that case, as I would trade the situation, turn to my allies and declare, you got this. They don't. And I'm gonna start heading down the hallway towards the rest of the party that's currently being besieged, and where I can hear the whimpering dog.
Okay.
When he gets the attack roll, he gets me as advantage because of my record right.
Okay. So hot die. That's a miss. 19 versus AC.
That hits.
Alright, so as what the fuck? I keep rolling like ones on my damage. So, as you
Should have been a better villain school and take remedial classes.
I mean, my dudes just aren't feeling it tonight, apparently. So as you turn heel to head towards the yelping, you feel a bladed arm slice the back of your tendon, but it doesn't really seem to matter. You press onward in your frothy rage.
How much damage did I take?
4 points of damage.
Okay.
So can you move? I can't quite reach. Can you move him 6 spaces towards Felicia's dying character there?
Oh my god.
All right. Help is on the way. Who's next?
Me. And I'm going to use Channel Divinity to turn undead.
Okay.
Undead.
I mean, undead.
Undead.
Yeah, since he just got left with 2 of these fucks. But it's cool.
I present my holy symbol and speak a prayer to the undead. Each undead that can see or hear you within range must make a wisdom saving throw. It's
Okay.
or until it takes damage.
Wisdom saving throws. So for I think it's 1 and 3. I got a 10.
Miss.
Miss me.
All right, less drama, more doing things.
Can't be within 30 feet of me. Bye bye.
All right, can you move those 30 feet away, like as if they were running away in terror from the dwarf? Yeah, like they move the most expedient direction away 6 spaces. All right, so a blinding light from around the corner. It's like the illumination of the sun, and you hear these things scrabbling away as if they saw the might of a god, for indeed they did. Who's next?
Next would be Callie, followed by Viessa.
All right,
Where is?
You're right there.
Okay. Alright, so I want to get to number 7.
Are you sure? Because you can sneak attack when you flank. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you're flanking, you can sneak attack.
If there's, you can probably
Rogues do it from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. Because I didn't know it could sneak attack.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
the sneak attack conditions are the enemy isn't aware of your presence, or you are flanking.
So I use my
Many a conga line has been skirted by a road.
Oh yeah,
Tagline.
rogues.
Ooh, I love Tagline.
Rogues. They like playing with their friends.
24 and
Yeah.
19.
Yeah. So you get to roll sneak attack damage for both of those. So. Are you okay?
She's a bird.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Oh my god.
Do I? I do.
I use 17. 20.
Do that.
27.
Do it.
27 points of damage.
Wow. Okay. So, the bone thief that is clawing its way into your back suddenly finds a blade in its back.
Yes!
And as it tries to spin around to attack, she twists the dagger in its heart, and it slumps over dead.
Birthday.
All right. So you have a friend looking out for you. So you still have your roguish action. Yeah. I'm a rogue motherfucker.
I still have movement left, so I'm gonna. I wanna stealth. So I guess I wanna
So
hide behind the bed.
okay. So you go behind a bed and then
Yeah.
you try and stealth. Okay.
Yeah.
So go and roll your Yeah, it's just out of my reach.
I got a 16. Just stealth.
All right. Well, I'll roll to see if they see you crawl up under bed. You crawl up under the bed, only realize there's a pair of eyes looking at you.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Someone's caught under a bed.
Voice comes out from below.
I think you need to get that checked out, Cameron. That doesn't sound good. Maybe call an exterminator.
You said I'm next, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So
Followed by Bog.
I'm gonna go with number 7. I'm gonna go ahead and try to bite this guy again.
Bite this motherfucker.
Alright. Alright. Come on.
It's a 16. What roll is 16?
Your rolls went from like really shit to really good.
Yeah, she started using that dice, and every time she rolled like 19.
It's the power of the bird.
Alright, so 16, so that hits.
It does.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing.
You do that.
That's
Four.
shitty. No, it's 50. Yeah. It's
A 7. It's like so. You get your jaws around one of its arms and you manage to tear it off. The thing still stands though, even as you kind of shake it in your jaws. Very convincing. Very. I like the sound effects. They're pretty cool. All right. Who's next?
Bog, followed by bad guys.
All right. So you wheel around the corner and you see one of the creatures thrown off of your friend, but 2 more continue to try and find entry into her body.
Okay, here's my question. We're doing the math on spaces moving.
Uh-huh.
Can I move there and gore an opponent adjacent to that space? Or do they have to be right in front of me?
As long as you can draw a straight line to, like as long as you move in a straight line, that's
So I'm
fine. Yeah, you just couldn't like make a turn. But if you can move in a straight line, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
that's a gore.
Yeah.
So
So
roll for another hit.
alright. So good.
Gooch the
18.
gooch. 18 plus 1.
So actually, it's 18 minus 1, so 17.
Wait, why are you rolling a neck one?
I have a negative 1 initiative.
No. That doesn't.
I'm not in this dumb.
Yeah,
it's
no,
18.
it's okay. I mean, it's like, yeah, you hit.
Yeah, okay.
You
I
hit.
think it's 1d6 is what you said? Plus 3?
No, it's just you do like a weapon damage attack. I mean,
Okay.
like unarmed strikes are 1d6, but for purposes of this, you just do a normal weapon attack, like damage wise.
Okay, so 1d10.
If you haven't noticed, like I don't always do like weapon damage as weapon damage because rule of cool. I like to rule of cool. Which means rule of cool, which means that just because it technically does something doesn't mean that your characters. I mean, you're not just sitting there trading blows. You're like fighting, and that gets visceral.
Okay, so I rolled 5.
Said trading blows.
Wait. Is this damage roll?
Is that because I
So I
totally
rolled 10.
wasn't thinking that?
So I hit number 7 for 10.
All right, so you run across the room, charging horns out, and one of your horns pierces the thing's chest as it's like tearing into her, and it slides off your horn and goes crashing into the wall, and with like a meaty cracking sound, it flops down to the ground.
Rest in peace.
You just hear. Next.
Next is bad guys, followed by Ravis.
All right. Are you below half hit points?
I'm at 15.
Yeah.
Because that's considered bloodied, and some enemies can do certain things when you're bloodied.
Even when she's in
Well,
animal?
yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
Yeah.
bloodied just means that you have like lots of open wounds on your body, and
Then, yeah.
unfortunately for things that are trying to get into your body, they have advantage on
Well,
bloodied
I'm
characters.
just sad they have an advantage of my bloody self, so.
I do. So first attack, I rolled a 2. Wow. Second attack, nat 20. Second attack. Is it gonna hit? Oh boy.
Serious question. If she dies from all the animals form, can I make a cloak out of her pelt?
You're a fucking dick. No, you
Wow.
cannot, because I'm still an elf, you fucking prick.
Wow. That got dark. Okay. So,
I mean, if I die, I thoroughly encourage you guys to make a lovely wallet and a pair of boots out of it.
I will now.
Precisely.
So here's the bad news. You're going to take 21 points of damage, which means that any excess of your animal form. So
8.
what is your current hit points?
13. So 8 carries over.
So 8 carries over into your normal form. So the thing crawls inside of your wolf body, and you can feel it sever your spinal cord as it basically merges into your body. But then you shapeshift back into a humanoid, and the thing's thrown off because the body it was currently inhabiting it changed. So it's still like hanging with a claw out of your back, but it at least didn't take over your body. That's why these things are called bone
Can someone
thieves.
kill this motherfucker?
Okay, so I'm not gonna go through this damage phase and make you redo everything. I totally forgot though. I do have protection.
So you can make me roll with disadvantage, which would have meant that I would have just had to roll
Excuse
like
me.
advantage cancels out disadvantage,
No, you don't
cancels out
have to.
advantage. But I've already rolled it. You need to announce it
That's what I'm
before.
saying. I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna stop at the combat.
Yeah. In the future,
I'm gonna say that
Definitely.
before.
Sit.
definitely.
Alright.
See, after like all of this, I thought you were going for something different, but I mean, I don't know. This to me doesn't mean.
There's a dog.
It means something
in
different.
here.
I don't know. I cannot get comfortable. I am like hot, and then I'm cold. No, I'm hot. Then I'm cold. Then I'm hot again. What the fuck? Anyways, so that ends its turn. Who left the toilet seat up? Krystal. Right? I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it had to be one or two people. I don't think it was me.
I mean, I haven't been to the bathroom, so it wasn't me.
Alright, so it was probably me.
Way to go, Cameron. Gosh.
Yeah, if I fall in the toilet, I am going to kill you. Just for the record. Alright, who's next?
Ravis, if all bad guys are done.
Well, I mean, it just finished getting its murder on, although it didn't.
Oh
Wait,
yeah, that's
word.
right. 1 and 2 are still.
But yeah, Jesus Christ. Dwarves. Druids are tanky as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would have
Yeah.
killed her if she wasn't in wolf form. Like,
Well,
she
I was
would
gonna
have been
ask
dead.
the match whether or not like comes to her animal form if she's killed after all HP's
Well,
done.
I mean-
the fact she goes back to human form, it's a tanky character.
Well, the problem with the bone thief is that if it attacks an unconscious character, it kills them because it crawls inside their body.
Was it you?
But
Probably,
if you weren't, animal form is kind of awesome. Jesus Christ. Like, you have low AC, but Jesus, you're a giant hit point sponge.
And honestly, the wolf itself
What
has
are
more
you
HP. than
I
that
don't know. Everything you're doing looks very I don't think it's as innocent looking as you think it is.
Oh, I know it's not.
Oh, okay. Well,
But-
anyways, so Ravis, before I got to worry about whose turn is it? Oh wait, no, I know that. God damn it! Just somebody fucking go.
Ravis, go.
I'm going.
I'm like getting blubbery over here. Oh my god.
Can I get in this room and flank the wolf, one of the bone stealers that was just trying to murder my companion?
Yeah. So opposite side, the bone thief. Almost. One more towards me. Nope. Yes. So that's flanking, and flanking's awesome. Because normally you get advantage in 5th edition,
flank
but
each
we
other.
decided that since players get flanked more than players flank enemies, it was so with advantage you have a 50% better chance to hit and a double chance to crit. Instead, we house ruled it so it's +2. So it's an extra 10% chance to hit, which is, still helpful. But it's not like the way the action economy and math work, it's to the player's advantage. So +2 for flanking. Sorry, I should have cleared it up earlier. But does that make sense to you, Cameron, as to why we do that?
It's okay. So I was gonna go with the reckless strike anyway. So I have advantage from that.
Sorry.
Well, okay then.
Bring me a water.
Bottle of water?
Or not a handful of water.
On my second roll.
Oh no, I'll do a handful.
Wait, what? Uh-huh.
I did my first roll. My
Oh,
second roll, I got a natural 20.
oh, that sounds painful.
Yeah.
All right.
So, double the base damage for my weapon, not my bonus damage. Yes.
Did you say boner?
Double, yeah,
Bonus.
double the weapon dice, not the bonus. How much beer have you had, girl?
Only one.
All right.
No.
2.
Oh, okay. 2.
No, it's not even that. I'm like.
All right, I'm listening. Hurt me.
That is 17 damage to the guy that was flanking her.
17, that's it? Like, that's not bad.
6 plus 5.
Okay. I was expecting like you to like death stroke this thing, and you know what? You came close enough. So rather than
I've also got my frenzied strike, so I've got another chance.
Okay, yeah. Felicia's like lost it, so we're just gonna say that you come up behind a thing, you wrap your axe handle around its neck, and you push your knee into the back of its spine, and you just hear a crack, 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 crack as its back breaks, and you fling it to the ground.
I love this plan. This is a great plan.
What plan?
They're absolutely murdering it in epic fashion. I love it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like being. I hate. You hit for 7 points of damage. They hit for 12 points of damage. You hit for fuck that. I like this sort of combat. Anyways, so the scary bone thieves are dead.
Yay.
You are probably gonna have nightmares. Your character probably.
Probably, yeah.
Like having a thing crawl inside your body.
You done killed the wolf she was in, so like.
So
6 is dead.
yeah, they're dead.
Next time she's
All
gonna
of them are
fight
They're
it.
dead. They're all.
We're
They're all
done.
dead.
We're done with this
No.
encounter.
Or one was alive.
Well,
One.
these are both still alive.
Okay.
So,
So was enemies next?
After Ravis,
No.
it's
Me.
It's him,
Yeah.
and then
It's you.
enemies, and then Viessa, and me.
So I'm just going to DM rule that the thing's running away.
Okay.
So it's going to crawl into the fireplace and crawl up the chimney
and we need
and piece the fuck out.
All right, so one piece of
Because
fuck out.
it's not going to like stand in the corner and let you wail on it.
You want 3 to piece out too?
Wait, 3 was
3's
So
alive too.
Oh yeah, it's going to crawl in the other
They
fireplace.
both piece
Yeah,
out.
they're gone. I mean, they were feared, so whatever.
Yeah,
They're as
like-
good as dead.
They're gonna get ganked in.
All right, so in the future, I am learning that we need to probably take some breaks because Felicia kind of lost it. I think I got a little stir crazy.
In my defense, like, I don't know if you noticed, but in the beginning of the game, like, I was so fucking out of it.
You were so fucking what?
Out of it,
You
yo.
got crap rolls all the time.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. Like, I don't know why, but my mind just wasn't here. To be completely honest with you, like, I was like all over another world.
Is like everything okay, or?
Yeah, I just like sometimes after work, like I have a problem. I do it at home too. Like I dissociate so fucking much.
Okay.
And I honestly can't even tell you why. Because I wish I knew why.
Well, we can talk about that here in a few. For right now, I know that we are 30 minutes behind when Cameron wanted to go to bed. So
Alright, Cam.
Hey,
let's.
hey, combat always gets like that. It's no big deal, I promise.
Yeah. I mean, I just I want to be respectful to everybody. So we will, I guess, pick it up next time in this room when you guys probably leaving it or whatever you're gonna do.
Alright, so I'm still at 11, like as far as we know, until we rest up again. Right?
What?
My hit points, yeah.
You're at 11.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I mean,
you subtract from the wrong thing. You subtract from your armor class
Not me.
when you're subtracting from that number there.
Okay. It was 8.
So you're at 13.
okay. So is everybody happy with this being a stopping point?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that we're not going to do it a whole lot tonight, but they need to have it up. This is a new group, and I want to give you guys the game that you guys want to play. So I usually ask, what's something that you liked about tonight's game that is maybe something that, well, it can be anything that you liked in school or anything that you have not had in the past, that's something new that you think's neat or whatever. And then also tell me something that you didn't like, something that you want to see less of, something that you thought was boring or blah or waste of time or meh or whatever.
Okay, this is irrelevant, but I want to see less of me fucking dying.
Well, I mean, that's up to your combat prowess, and that's up to the fate of the dice.
Yeah, right.
So
I didn't
I
like
can't
that.
really help you with that, but this game is a pretty like high challenge game, but then it's also pretty high magic in that you guys will get lots of cool shit in time.
So I think that's a cool idea. Instead of just straight up generic enemies, they're not generic. You're picking cool enemies. I'll say that. Maybe more specialized towards like taking out individual roles. Instead of just having like a bunch of grunts that are essentially the same thing, but like there's 3 of them. Maybe have some special enemies that are designated to take out. Whether it's a tank or a mage or.
For sure, but I mean, I'm trying to not murder y'all.
Not murdering. I'm just talking
Right,
about
I know,
more-
but I mean, like when you start talking about mixed enemy types, you start talking about like advanced tactics.
Yeah.
And like,
That's kind of what I'm looking at.
right. And in time we'll get there.
Yeah.
But as
So
of right
then-
now, you guys don't know your characters well enough to know that you need to go after that mage that's about to fireball everybody, and you need to like break off, this like strong melee attacker from your squishies. You need
Well, what
to
got me
stay
thinking
adjacent
about
to
that?
blah blah blah.
What got me thinking about that was in that first room where we were fighting blobs.
A lot of y'all are talking at me at the same time. Was
I
that?
was sweaty. I was just gonna ask for your make part.
There's a vanity in the bedroom. Don't mind the mess. And on the vanity is makeup wipe removers. Or there's 2 other things of them somewhere. I don't know where. We bought some. I just don't know where they're at. Anyways, go on the vanity.
In that first room or something like that, we were fighting blob monsters and the one bone.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Bone stealer?
It was Bone Devil.
Yeah. Well, it's like weapon wise, blunt damage, bludgeoning damage doesn't really work well on blobs, but on bony creatures, that's a different story.
They weren't like so much like it's less like blobs as like puddings and more of like
Fleshy blobs.
yeah, like mishappen fleshy creatures that have like no real skeletal structure. I can pull up pictures of like the enemy and like show them to you if it would help. But trust me, I can throw some pretty crazy encounters at you guys.
Yeah.
And will in time, but combat is going to be a mixture of some easy fights, some hard fights, and eventually there's going to be fights that you guys aren't going to have a chance, and you will need to run.
Okay.
But I try not to murder my parties on the second game. I mean, you will be tested, but you should spend this time learning to work together as a group.
Yeah, I'm still learning.
Which,
man.
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
die.
I mean, and that's the thing is that if it's too easy, you at least get to like fight another day. Whereas if I throw something impossible at you and you don't understand that running away, for example, is okay, and y'all stay and fight and die. I mean, a total party kill's not a good time.
Yeah.
Especially not on your second session. So.
Maybe what I'm looking for isn't necessarily specialized enemies, just setups that test the party's intelligence. Things where it's not like, okay, I'm going to walk up to this enemy because they're near me and I'm going to attack them. Things that require some forethought.
Well, me and you will talk one-on-one a bit more about this.
Okay.
I will say that some players are tacticians. They see the battle as like a game of chess, and that, each piece should, if they should do this, they should do this, they should do that.
Yeah.
And when the players don't do that, they are frustrated by that.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to kind of realize that, you can't expect other players to bring that tactical mindset to the game. Some players just want to run up to an enemy and attack it.
And that's what I'm saying. In
and
certain
that's-
encounters, that should be punished, but not all.
Well, I mean,
And when I say punished, I
It's-
don't mean die. I mean, you take maybe a little bit more hits than you think you would.
well, and perhaps that happened tonight.
It did. It did.
Perhaps it didn't, but at
Like
any
when she
rate,
got swamped by 3 creatures at once because she was out of position. Like that. That
First of
was.
all,
at-
my wolf only has one attack move. I want to let you know that. One.
You were out of position.
Why?
That's all I'm saying.
No, it was the closest one to me.
it is a learning process, and not
yeah, I know.
everybody.
He's saying that like I played this more than twice.
Right. I mean, I think just patience
Yeah.
will.
Oh,
In
cool.
time, you'll find what you seek, but for right now, I'm okay easing everybody into it.
Yeah.
There will be fights that rival the fight for Middle Earth, but we're not there yet. It's going to take time.
Very fair.
All right. So, criticisms,
Yeah,
compliments,
it's
anything
fair to
else,
say my second time ever playing.
so that Cameron can get to bed.
Cameron had to peace out. He told me that he appreciates and he had fun playing with everybody.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He messaged me, sorry.
You don't need to be sorry. I was just. Yeah.
As far as dislikes go, I can't think of anything.
I didn't have any dislikes.
I thought the fights were amazing.
It's.
I really enjoyed the encounters, the setups, and the map was really good.
Thank you.
The only dislike I have is not anything you did in the game. Is the fact that YouTube keeps being a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do some extensive testing to figure out what the problem is, because there's no reason for it to not work on this internet. Like, we have really good, solid internet. It should fucking work, and it works fine on my phone. So that tells me it's not the internet.
I have one conclusion. I don't want to have to admit it. I think it's my laptop.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we need to get everything set up onto my desktop, then we'll do it.
Well, I think
But-
honestly, we just need to buy a tripod for the camera. It's something that we talked about and then we decided against because we had the camera and the laptops, but I don't know. It always seems like we have problems with the laptops, and I think with the tripod, if we could just use your camera, it would be perfect.
How much
Yeah,
does the
sure.
tripod for the camera cost?
It's like $35, I think, give or take.
All right. In time, we'll figure it out. We will do some more thorough testing during the week rather than just hoping that it's going to work on game day.
Mhm.
So, in the interest of wrapping this up, likes, dislikes, anything else that
No, I can't think of anything.
can help me be a better DM to you guys.
I think you're doing
In
phenomenal.
reference to the specializations, I think what I was really trying to get across was more ranged units, like that we're fighting against.
In time.
Okay. That's. I feel like the moment you add ranged units, is you really can add tactics to it.
You will. I've been doing this since I was 17, which is a long time, and I definitely you know, after every session, I look for feedback. So I mean, you know, I just wanted to not murder you guys because that doesn't exactly,
It's not fun.
you know, total player kill on session 2 is not my
It's my
idea of
second
fun.
session ever, so I'm still learning. Oh, some people don't.
It's a slow
Chris!
Everybody
I
has
ain't gonna make any
their
suggestions next time.
everybody has their own way of playing, and we'll all learn each other's way of playing.
I don't even have my own way.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing is that
That's why I
you know,
said in time.
Yeah.
you know, step 1's to learn your character, step 2's learn how to work as a group,
Well, yeah.
and then you can
Yeah.
start taking on
Look up
the
some
hordes.
things.
I guess we'll just also, since Cameron's already gone, we'll skip voting. I mean, I don't know.
I can text him tomorrow about the voting if you want.
I mean, it seems like everybody's winding it up. So
What do y'all vote on?
We have a voting system where we get what she calls mulligan tokens, depending on who wins each category, and you can use them for rerolls. You can use them for if you said something in game that you automatically regretted. You can say, "Here's my mulligan token. I never said that."
Okay.
If you get a nat 1 and you want to re-roll it, you can give it a token.
So I know that we all start out with what, 3 mulligan tokens?
No,
No,
you start with
you
0.
you start with 0, and then
Okay.
every session we try to vote, and
On
we
who
vote
gets
for
mulligans.
MVP, most valuable player, which is a player that did something that just really it saved your butts in battle. It just was an awesome thing to do for role playing.
Something really fucking cool.
Yeah, just something really awesome. And then there's one for quickest, somebody who took the least amount of time to take their turn, somebody who just knew automatically what they were gonna do and say.
yeah,
Um,
like plan their action out. When,
Yeah.
And then the third category is whoever stayed in character, which what we mean by that is how you played your character the way they're supposed to be played, not the way not the way you play.
Yeah, you
So.
you treat them like, you know, what would my character do rather than like what
would I
should my character do.
Yeah.
Telling what your character would do is always a better story than what your character should do. You know, what they should have done in the Lord of the Rings would have been a much less interesting story than what they did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our voting system.
So we're skipping on that tonight since he already
Yeah, since everybody's
I don't know. Usually we add some breaks, but we just kind of plow through tonight. In the future, I think we will start taking some breaks, but it's kind of a weird time slot. So
Yeah, my
just-
fault.
Well, I mean, not really. It would be your work's fault, if anything, right? Because I mean, you'd probably be really here playing D&D than working, I imagine. Given it a choice. So I mean, you know, in time we will sort things out, and in time we will have like a window to play where we can like take a few breaks and not feel like
It's just
we're
sucks with
missing out
Christmas
on.
coming up.
Right now. So I'm guessing your boss said no. Do you have any days off?
Well, I'm gonna see if I have this coming Sunday off, but I don't know until the end of the week. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I requested Sunday off. I think. No, because some people fucking requested Sundays off when they want to work fucking Sundays. Okay. I don't understand.
Well, it's the holiday season. Everybody's gonna be asking for time off. So.
Well, no. Certain people just don't like working Sundays because when you work Sundays, you work full shift, and it's not even. Okay, the full shift, literally on Sundays, we're open at 12. We open at 12, right? Yeah, and we close at 6. We go 12 to 6:30 or we go 6:30. Finally, one said thing. I mean, really it is, but like, I'm not like closing. I don't always get out like at 6:30. Like, we basically do today. Sometimes like it depends on who's closing. We'll get out. Like if they want to do a shitty job, we get out early. We'll get out early. So it's just
Well, I
you never
mean,
know.
This is our second session, and we got the ball rolling sooner rather than later than we did the first time, and I think next time we'll improve again. So it's just going to take time for us to get into a good rhythm.
This is true.
And technology is great, so when that goes down, there ain't really nothing you can do about it except just get it back up and running again.
You know, my work requested to follow me, but I don't know how I feel about that because I don't need my boss stalking my Instagram because I have one picture of a blunt and one picture of a bong and one picture like that's my personal shit. I'm not gonna accept that.
Well, speaking of personal shit, we're still live, so let me stop the camera. Okay.
I can edit it, but at the moment we are live. Yes.
You want me to shut it off? Yeah, if you can, stop the stream and just pass me my hangout. That works. Good night, YouTube.
Night, YouTube. Rock on, Chicago.
And nobody that's watching.
Rock over London. Rock over Chicago.